This is Dave, and you're watching Harpoon Dreams. I just had an idea to film another really quick episode of Harpoon Dreams that might be really useful to y'all that have a harpoon. This is going to be really quick. I'll try not to talk too much. Here's two items that were really, really inexpensive that I have found super useful. And I just used one of them. I don't usually use this one. I just used one of them to film another episode where I needed to move the camera around and put it down and have it stay. I'll put links in the description below so you can just go order these things if you choose, okay? But I wanted to show you what they are. Maybe you find a different brand or something. So here are my two camera mounts that I use on Harpoon 394. So this one I just used to film a maintenance episode because I need to move the camera around and put it down and replace it at any moment during the video. So you can see here why it's useful because with one hand you can adjust these legs to straighten it out. So you can either adjust it with these legs that are very flexible, or you can adjust it here to pivot this way, okay? So I think it was under $10, and it works just fine. Of course, you would never use it while you're sailing. While I'm sailing, I use this. This also was really, really inexpensive. It is a very secure mount. You can see the threads and the jaws. You can see they would open up to grab onto a flat surface that's maybe 3 or 4 inches thick. You can see that these jaws would really expand quite a bit to grab onto almost any surface. The limitation is that the surface has parallel sides, almost parallel sides. If you try to mount it to something that doesn't have parallel sides, like the edge of the boat here, it will hold for a few minutes, but just hope you don't bang into it or shake something, it will fall off. Or like at the stern of my boat back here, you see the stern, those sides, it would fit easily over there, okay? It would easily fit, but those sides are not parallel, okay? The inside surface of the stern and the outside surface of the stern are not parallel. So this will hold for a time, but you better hope that you don't bump it or shake it too much, because it will eventually slip off. But it is fantastic for things like the inside of the cuddy here, where you have a minimal surface. The other beautiful thing about this is this thick metal wire. It must be copper tubing inside there, coated with vinyl, because it is firm. You can adjust it with your hands. You would need 2 hands to adjust it. It is firm, but it flexes back and forth many times. I have not broken it yet. I don't know what material it is, but it really serves its purpose. And so here's what I do. I mount this right here like this. I'm not actually looking at it as I'm doing it. Let me tighten it up a little bit. I loosened it way up just to demo how great it is. Now I can tighten this here. Now that's never going to come off, and I've wound up the coil such that my cell phone sits back about 1 inch inside the cuddy. Why do I do that? So that it does not interfere with the jib sheets that come across here. My GoPro mount, where's my GoPro? Oh, it's on my other bag. I started out mounting my GoPro right here in the same position with the camera sticking out here, and it was always getting caught in the jib sheets. With this configuration, it almost never becomes an issue. In fact, I don't think it's ever gotten snagged up with the jib sheets. So I'll put the links in the description. These are two really inexpensive items that I really love. By the way, this one and this one, they've both been sitting in the weather in my boat for about 6 months or 8 months. And they're virtually the same condition as when I bought them. There's a slight amount of corrosion on the spring over here, but it's insignificant. And compared to the price, I think it was $11 for this item. So those are two items that you'll want to buy if you're filming on your Harpoon. They hold a cell phone, okay? Probably this could probably hold a GoPro also. I don't know about this one. It seems a little bit big to hold a GoPro, but you probably have other stuff to hold your GoPro. So there we go. Those are my two very inexpensive cell phone holders. And while we're talking about this, and while we're talking about filming on your Harpoon, I have evolved a method that is just fantastic for processing and storing videos that I'm filming on my Harpoon. I mount my cell phone here, as I showed you earlier, and I turn on Facebook, and I turn on Facebook Live, and I turn the camera sideways in this position. And Facebook doesn't like that too much, but they let you film like that. And what happens? I can let that thing run, I think, at least an hour and a half. And it's not taking up any storage, virtually no storage on my iPhone. I couldn't really do that if I were recording a video on my iPhone. I just don't think I have that kind of space. But the cool thing is that I start up Facebook Live, I record my sailing session, and then when I'm done, I hit stop, finish, post it in HD. And when I get home, it's already been processed by Facebook and stored there forever, hopefully. It's stored there in perpetuity, and then I just download it in a few seconds to my computer, and then I put it into my editing software and I rotate it. In the editing software, it's not a problem to rotate it. In Facebook, sometimes it rotates automatically. Sometimes you can rotate it manually. But there's some black magic that I don't understand where sometimes it stays sideways forever. And people have to turn their head to look at it, which is really annoying. But that's what I do instead of worrying about, do I have enough space on my iPhone? Do I have enough space on my GoPro? Oh, but the GoPro, by the way, records things in 15-minute segments. So if I were to film an hour and a half, I would have to grab 6 files off my GoPro, slide them over to my computer. It takes quite a while to move those 6 files that are each 15 minutes. God forbid you have 10 or 15 of them. It takes a little bit of your morning or evening when you're home and you're tired, and you got to do that. Plus, I got to take the chip out and move it to my computer, or I have to connect it with Bluetooth or some nonsense like that. You know what? It's a lot easier just to film on Facebook and grab the video when I get home, move it to my computer in like 10 seconds, download it, and then I really believe that the editing software, Windows Movie Maker, whatever version it seems to process the Facebook videos much faster than the GoPro videos. I don't know why. Anyway, that's just my methodology for filming and my tools. So I just wanted to let you know about that. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day. It takes... I talk way too much. It's crazy how much I talk. All right, so